Now we go to Colombia. That's where different reactions have followed the latest FARC statement, in which the guerrilla group announced its readiness to become a legal political movement if a peace agreement is finally reached with the government. Our correspondent Natalia Margarita has more.
Her colleagues from the leftist Patriotic Union Party were being assassinated one after the other. The death threats became so unbearable that Imelda had to flee with her 3 children. After almost 30 years of exile in Sweden, she has now returned, hoping that Colombia's peace process might bring the political guarantees she never had before.
We need to push the government to comply with that commitment. We cannot let ourselves be cornered or intimidated. We need to make use of our rights and insistently and urgently demand from the government the guarantees to develop our political activities. And the insurgency should do the same once they reintegrate into civilian life.
Patriotic Union was itself the product of peace negotiations back in the 80s. Then it was exterminated by paramilitary and state violence. Now that the FARC have said they are ready to become a political party, Patriotic Union members wonder whether this time the government is really ready to provide the necessary guarantees.
The necessary measures do not exist yet, and that is problematic in such a violent country as ours, where death threats are constant, and those threats are coming from the same paramilitary structures that continue to operate with help from within the state. The state must establish a very clear policy that it will never again support paramilitary groups.
For those that once took up arms and have already demobilized, the dismantling of paramilitarism is a must, but so is the guarantee of political participation, which is precisely one of the negotiation points in Havana.
Those guarantees are absolutely necessary to prevent new massacres against social movements or the political leaders that will result from the peace accords with the insurgency. And that's where civil society should also play a central role in making sure that those necessary conditions and guarantees will be in fact fulfilled.
For social leaders, the FARC latest statement brings Colombians one step closer to achieving peace, a process that requires tolerance towards all the different positions that will eventually emerge on the country's political spectrum. Natalia Margarita, teleSUR, Bogota.